Hello, everyone. Welcome to the School of Pharmacy virtual offer holiday. My name is Dr. Alan Goslet. I'm one of the admissions officers in the school. Today, it's an information day, trying to provide you with details about our course and some insight into Cardiff University School of Pharmacy, the, the facilities and everything we do in the school. Alongside me today is Dr. Alex White, who's an academic who's been department for many years. He's going to basically give us an insight into some of the academic side of things. And a little bit later on, we have Natasha Frey. She's one of our undergraduate students, who's going to tell you a bit more about the environment of what it's like being a student in Cardiff. Whilst we're doing this, you will see hopefully in your screen a Q&A button, an opportunity to ask questions. Type them in and we will try to answer them as we're going along. Once the two presentations are also finished, we will try and then read out some of these and keep answering them until you've got all the answers you need. But you're not here to listen to me. I think it's more important that you get listening to Alex. So I'm going to pass you over to Alex and enjoy the day. And please ask us anything you wish about our course. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. I'm going to do battle with teams now, and hopefully you should see a slide deck appear, which is a Cardiff University welcome slide. As Dr. Coslet said, I'm going to give you a brief overview about Cardiff University and the MPharm programme at Cardiff University. Cardiff University is a Russell Group university. That's one of the 24 UK elite universities, founded in 1883. And we currently have over 35,000 students across 3 colleges and across 2 campuses. We've got some pictures of this slide of the university main building up in the top left-hand corner, the university sports facilities, and also in the bottom left-hand corner, a view of the new Centre for Student Life. This slide has a picture of the Redwood building. The Redwood building is where the vast majority of teaching on the MPharm programme takes place. Where there is an exception to this, that would be teaching that takes place at the medical school, which is only about a mile away from the Redwood building and easily accessible by walking, cycling, or by public transport. And also time away from the Redwood building would be when you are undertaking a work-based placement, and we'll talk more about that in just a moment. So we aim at the School of Pharmacy at Cardiff University to deliver an inspiring and transformational learning experience. We do this by consulting extensively with external stakeholders. These are people out in the workplace, out in practice, and they tell us what they would like to see from the graduates that we supply to them. Whilst that's a sort of a workplace thing, also we work closely with research partners as well. And it's really our goal to provide the best possible educational experience whilst you're at Cardiff University. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about our MPharm programme. The MPharm, as you probably know, is a 4-year degree at Cardiff University, and that is followed by 1 year of foundation training. This used to be called the pre-registration year. It's now more correct to call it foundation training, but you will find that lots of people out in the workplace still refer to it as the pre-reg. A big difference in foundation training now is that it includes independent prescribing. So you should really think of this package as a 5 years of integrated training. The MPharm degree, taught exclusively at Cardiff University, will prepare you, it will get you prescribing ready, and then you will develop and enhance those prescribing skills during your foundation training, and you will sign the register at the end of the 5th year of training as an independent prescriber. And we're fully accredited to deliver this programme along with our foundation training partners by the GPHC against the 2021 education and training standards, quite commonly called the new standards. So in addition to the formal education and workplace training, over those 5 years, you will develop transferable skills, you'll develop your professionalism, and you will learn lots of clinical skills, and they will support your academic learning in the pharmacy programme. So a little bit more information about the Farm on this slide. As I said, initially this is a 4-year full-time degree programme, and we are fully accredited by the UK regulator, the GPHT. We're a self-contained and welcoming and relatively small school. We're taught by a very experienced academic team. All of our academics carry out their own independent research, so you'll be taught by people who are leading research in their own respective fields. We also take the opportunity to employ many expert practitioners, so-called teacher practitioners or TPs, and we recruit these individuals from community pharmacies, hospital pharmacies, and other primary care settings such as GP, and sometimes occasionally from industrial settings as well. So typically these practitioners will work for a few days a week at the university, and then they will work for the rest of their time in their respective sector. And so that way we're bringing the workplace experience directly into the university experience. We have a vibrant program of interprofessional education. This is something that I'm going to talk about on a subsequent slide. And also a distinctive feature of the Cardiff program is a large number of workplace placements. And again, I got a couple of slides to talk about that. Really what we're trying to foster in all of our students is the ability to make decisions, to make clinical decisions. Sometimes this could be a challenging decision that you have to make. And it's important when you're learning how to make decisions that you do so from an evidence base. In order to do that, you need a very strong foundation in pharmaceutical science, and you need to be able to apply that in clinical practice. So throughout all of the activities, I'm just going to go quickly over the next couple of slides. At the end of the day, the reason that we do everything that we do is to ensure that you are effective evidence-based decision makers when you graduate from us. We're supported in our teaching by the use of a digital learning platform. We call this Learning Central at Cardiff University, and this is built on a Blackboard Ultra Core. All of the modules that you're enrolled in a particular year of study will be listed on your Learning Central pages. And then furthermore, we break down each one of those modules into units. Units make large modules a bit easier to digest, and then you'll see on the right-hand side of this slide, here is a picture of some individual lessons. A lesson can comprise lots of different things. It could be a traditional university lecture that you attend in a lecture theatre. It could be a workshop. It could be a practical class. It could be some self-directed online study. So each unit has got a number of lessons, but I think the point I'm making here is that everything is accessible online, and it's broken down into easy chunks to make it easy to engage with our program. This slide has got a breakdown of the curriculum over all 4 years of the MPharm. Each one of the bullet points under this sort of this increasingly complicated stairwell is the title of each of the modules that you will study in each year. Essentially, in the first year, we welcome lots of different students from all over the country, indeed all over the world, with lots of different educational experiences to boot. So we make sure that everyone in the first year has common training, so in biology and in biochemistry and chemistry, as well as introducing the role of the pharmacist and how to practice professionally. We cover that in year 1, and you'll see as we progress through year 2 and year 3, everything starts to become a little bit more complicated, building on the things that you've used in previous years. So by the time you get to year 4, you'll take all of the knowledge that you've learned from the previous 3 years. So in year 4, you can't forget anything that you've learned in year 1, for example, and you will learn how to apply these in various situations. Another highlight of the 4th year is that a third of the year is an extended research project where you will tackle a question which nobody knows the answer to. So you'll be researching something and you will be creating knowledge. Across the whole of the degree program, we run a continuous program of professional development and placement experience. And this sort of develops those transferable and professional skills that perhaps are too hard to teach in a classroom, but can only be learned by experience. So the aim of the program really is to bring together science, to bring together the practice of pharmacy and that professional element as well. I briefly mentioned interprofessional education. I've got a separate slide on this because this is a distinctive feature of learning pharmacy at Cardiff University. Very few healthcare professionals work alone these days, so everyone works together as part of a multidisciplinary team. And it's important to learn what other types of people you'll be working with in your future career, who they are, what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, and how can we work together effectively. We are lucky at Cardiff University that we have got a large biomedical healthcare faculty. We have a School of Medicine, a School of Dentistry, optometry, as well as other healthcare professions. And so you will be taught alongside some of these students during interprofessional education classes. These do change a little bit year on year, depending on scheduling, depending on staff availability, but this slide gives you some examples of the type of interprofessional education teaching that we do. For example, in the first week of your first year, you will be working together with the medical students, learning basic life support. When you're working in a healthcare environment or when you're just sort of going about your business in everyday life, you never know when you might encounter a human being in distress. We'll teach you how to perform basic life support and keep someone alive until professionals can arrive to offer further assistance. If we sort of take this further along, you'll see that we work with dental students in the second year on oral care, so looking at that sort of intersection between dentistry and pharmacy. Again, with the medical students in later years, you'll be learning how to safely inject patients, and you'll be able to learn perhaps the complex task of providing palliative care to end-of-life patients. So lots of opportunities to work with different students from different healthcare professions. There is a strong element of placements in the MPharm program. I've already sort of alluded to that, and it might probably initially seem quite daunting to you to be going out and meeting patients, and you will be meeting patients face to face from very early on in the first year. But in order to make sure that you are ready for this and you're prepared to work in a busy clinical environment, we provide a program of clinical simulation, which helps you tackle some of the more challenging clinical issues, but in the safety of the classroom. So we have a clinical, as I said, we've got some clinical environments mocked up in the school. These pictures show consulting rooms on the bottom, or we have a virtual hospital ward up on the top. These are equipped with simulated mannequins. These are patients that will talk to you. They'll respond to what you do to them. You could administer drugs to them, and you can see how those drugs change their physiology. So quite sort of useful tools for developing your clinical skills. And that can be a hand-on clinical skill as well. So the student in the top right-hand picture is using an otoscope to examine a patient's ear. You can also take blood pressures, both on ourselves and in a simulated environment as well, to teach you how to do these important hand-on clinical skills. So we have these various facilities within the School of Pharmacy to help you practice clinical skills safely in a simulated environment before you go out and meet patients in an actual clinical environment. And every year we assess your learning, and we assess your ability to do this effectively in something called an OSCE, an Objective Structured Clinical Examination. And in this, we use standardized patients who are professional medical actors, and they act out and role play various scenarios that you have to engage with, find out what is going on with that patient and make clinical decisions. And so you can practice in that environment. And this is also a good practice for your communication skills as well. I think we've got a slide on that next. Yes, here we go. So this is what a typical OSCE might look like. We have a student pharmacist looking sort of confident in a consulting room. We have a medical actor playing a patient, and then there'll be a member of academic staff who is observing, marking that particular interaction. But also this is used to provide really useful feedback on your performance as well. And although it is an assessment, feedback in any assessment is helpful to make sure that you develop and learn and improve as an individual. As mentioned, another distinctive feature of the Cardiff University degree is that we offer a large number of workplace learning placements. And here's a selection of pictures these are first year students out on a hospital placement. So this is something that some students will be doing within 2 to 3 weeks of starting at Cardiff University, out on a hospital ward, meeting and talking to real patients. It's a great way to start learning how to communicate effectively with patients and to be able to talk to them and understand sort of what has brought them into this environment on this particular day and learn about their journey through the healthcare system. We are very lucky to work in partnership with the Welsh Government. Welsh Government have invested millions of pounds in the pharmacy placement scheme in Wales, and this is also supported by HEIW, which is Health, Education and Improvement Wales, which is a statutory health board which oversees the workforce skills development across the whole of Wales. So in other words, an organisation which is there to help and support you. You could find yourself on a placement anywhere geographically in Wales. So we offer placements across the length and the breadth of Wales. And these placements are recruited by HEIW and quality assured by HEIW. Remember, this is a trusted Welsh Government organisation to ensure a high quality learning environment. It basically gives you the best opportunity to learn how to apply everything that you've learnt about in the classroom in the actual workplace, and very often speaking directly one-to-one with patients. This slide summarises our placement offering. As I said, this starts almost within the first few weeks of arriving. The slides, the pictures on the slides I showed just now were from our hospital volunteering scheme, where you undertake a number of half days in a hospital environment. Also within the first day, you'll get a taster session within Wales' largest and busiest community pharmacy. That's Boots on Queen Street, for those of you who know Cardiff. There'll also be a week's placement in a community pharmacy as well. These then continue throughout the rest of the degree programme. You'll see they increase in frequency as you move further up the degree programme. It's worth saying that these placements will typically be in either hospital, community or GP, and that will happen across the MPharm years 2, 3 and 4. Because of the sort of complexity of arranging placements, not everyone goes out on the same placement at the same time. Each individual will take a slightly different pathway through our placement offering over the 4 years of their degree, but we have a database and we keep track of who does what. So by the time you reach the end of the 4th year, everyone will have done approximately the same number of days in both hospital, community and GP. It's just every individual will do it in a slightly different order. But it is great experience, and it's the best way really to learn what you've to apply what you've learned in the classroom. Particularly in the 3rd and 4th years, you might get the opportunities to specialise as well. So here, for example, is a quote from Ella, who did one of her placements in an elderly care assessment unit. And there's some justification there from how useful that she found that. And so there's always sort of something different and something new that you might be able to experience in the placement programme. We recognise that coming to university is challenging, and we recognise that doing a healthcare degree such as pharmacy offers additional challenge as well. So I just want to reassure everyone that there's plenty of support in place to help everyone achieve their best potential throughout the programme. This slide just sort of screenshots some of these. Every student at Cardiff University is assigned a personal tutor. That personal tutor is there to monitor academic progress, but also to look after the general health and well-being and some of the more sort of pastoral aspects as well of your time at university. We have a university student-led mentorship program. This is where students from higher years on your degree program will be assigned to first-year students. So every first year is assigned a mentor who has been there and experienced the first year of their study and is there to help you in a more sort of informal way than perhaps the way that you might want to engage with your university personal tutor. Across the wider university, there's lots of other support as well, and some of these are detailed on this slide. These are all sorts of services offered across the broader university, in addition to the support that you can get directly in the School of Pharmacy. I'm sure you all have done your homework, and you know that we are a very successful School of Pharmacy. Most years, all or very nearly all, 99 or 100% of our graduates find employment or further study within 6 months of graduating. The vast majority of our students occupy key positions in pharmacy and in a range of healthcare jobs. So our graduates are very successful in securing employment. I have mentioned foundation training, and it's that's the 5th year of your journey to becoming a pharmacist. Probably you may know this. If you don't know this, it's good to be aware of it, that at the end of your foundation training, the 5th year of study, you will sit the so-called GPHC registration assessment. This is an assessment which qualifies you to sign the register as a practicing pharmacist. It's not something that the university is directly involved with, because by that stage you have graduated from university. But what we do find is that Cardiff graduates do exceptionally well in that registration assessment. We are always in the top 5, or our graduates are always in the top 5. This varies slightly from year to year. Currently, in 2025, 91% of Cardiff graduates passed the GPHC registration assessment at the first attempt, which made us joint 3rd in the UK. And note that against the national average pass rate of 79%. So Cardiff graduates are well above the national average, and the vast majority of Cardiff graduates, as you see, pass that critical assessment at first attempt. So that's a really good vindication of the fact that what we're doing at Cardiff University on the MPharm programme prepares Cardiff graduates to be successful in that challenging and important registration assessment. It isn't all hard work, though. There are plenty of other distractions that you can enjoy at Cardiff. Every year we host an annual ball. I expect Natasha, our student representative, is going to say a little bit more about this in just a minute, but here is a picture of staff and students alike enjoying themselves at a recent annual pharmacy ball. Lots of other reasons to like Cardiff as well. If you're unaware of, if you've not had a chance to visit Cardiff yet, it is a vibrant capital city. In the top left-hand corner, we can see an example of Coffee Barker in one of the arcades in Cardiff. There's a network of old-fashioned arcades, stuff full of places to eat and shop, which is very popular. Rugby, sport in general, is a big part of life in Cardiff as well. The Millennium Stadium, you can see a picture of an international rugby match taking place there, is a stone's throw from the School of Pharmacy, literally just over the road from us. As is Cardiff Castle, which is in the bottom left-hand corner of this slide. Cardiff Castle, you can see the turrets poking up from the trees now, sits in the middle of a large park. At this time of year, it doesn't look like that because you can't see very much of the green grass because it's covered in undergraduate students revising and playing football. A little bit further afield, we have the Brecon Beacons National Park. We even have sandy beaches and the coast as well. And these are all relatively easily accessible. These are all under an hour's journey from public transport from the centre of Cardiff. So you can certainly explore the wider area, and it's easy to do so if you wish to do that. So Cardiff is a great place to study. It's also a great place to live. And we hope that at the School of Pharmacy, we are an approachable body of staff, and we like to work together with our students to ensure that you have the best possible experience and leave Cardiff with the best possible preparation for your future career. Any questions you can address in the Q&A. If you think of something after this session, you can always email us or get in touch with us via our website. We'd be very happy to hear from you. And so thank you all very much, everyone. Diolch for joining this afternoon. You're on mute, Alan.
Get it wrong. Always get it wrong. So many thanks, Alex. Gave a really good overview, I believe, to our guests today. Hopefully it's provided lots of information about the course, allows them to go away and compare and say, what I forgot to say at the very beginning is congratulations, you have an offer from us, but you still have the hard work to do. That is in terms of working on your A-levels and getting your grades, but also you're in that critical stage of determining where you want to go and do that studying. And that's hopefully where we're trying to provide information for you. So you've now had the sort of more academic side of you, and now we're going to switch to maybe some of the more light-hearted, relaxing side. You've got to have going to university is that balancing act of having a good place to study, enjoying yourself, as well as having an academic strong course. And we believe it is important to have both. And what I'm going to do is now introduce Natasha. So Natasha is one of our third-year students, progressing really well and getting ready for those exams. She's given the afternoon up to come and help us out, and she's going to give us an insight into what Cardiff is like as a student, place to live, the course, a little bit. So again, if you have any questions, please fire away in the Q&A. We'll be out there in the background. In the meantime, I'm just going to leave you in Natasha's hands. So thank you, Natasha.
Thank you, Alan. Best of luck myself in those exams in a few weeks' time. But I just want to give a quick speech on just what Cardiff is like from the student perspective, because you can get a lot of the information about the specifics of the course all online, but the difference of actually living and being in Cardiff is what I'm covering now, which I'm very proud of. I've been here a very long time. I'm a third-year student, and I've had a dab hand in a fair few different things in my time at Cardiff. As you can see, I said, I just like living here in general. Like, you can see like the city skyline there, and it's just a really nice place to be, which I think makes a big difference when doing, I will say, a bit of a harder course like pharmacy. Here we go. Now, we have the Welsh Pharmaceutical Students Association. This is our course-based society. So this is in partnership with Cardiff Students' Union. This is supported by the Students' Union, but it is run by pharmacy students for pharmacy students. We do a vast variety of events for everyone to get involved with across the year. So our biggest event, as Alex mentioned, was the annual charity ball, which I will come on to a little bit later. But like main things we cover, we have 3 sports teams that we get involved with. We even have like an annual sports varsity with the School of Optometry, which pairs nicely with that interprofessional education that Alex also mentioned. And then something that I'm personally quite proud of is that with my work with the society, we've brought in a lot more student-led resources, sort of study sessions, revision, exam practice, just to try and support you, because we all know that the course, like I said, it's not the easiest, but we know that the hard work pays off and it's helpful for everyone. So these are some more photos from our annual charity ball. So it's really inclusive. It's all 4 years of the degree. So that's 1st through 4th, as well as the lecturers, which I think is honestly one of like the best parts of it, because you get to like relax, and it's honestly, I would say that I'm honestly quite good friends with a lot of the lecturers. The longer you are there, they all just want the best for you. And it's a nice night to just relax and just enjoy yourself, celebrate all the hard work that you've done, because this is usually not long after the end of January exams, usually like early springtime. It was February this year, but tickets include everything you could possibly need. It's a 3-course meal with welcome drinks. There's photography that, again, we all love our photos. We all love, and a good excuse to get dressed up. What goes down fabulously is the photo booth there. It is literally unlimited photo booths with all your friends that you get the printouts for. I have tons, and it's across all years, and little bits of memorabilia I think are absolutely fabulous. And a classic that's returned this year is the entertainment from our staff band. So again, it is all just a bit of fun. They're called Bad Medicine, which I think is a fabulous name, but it's something where you get to make memories, because the whole reason you're coming to uni is not just for the degree, it's for the experience and all the memories you'll make alongside it. And I've met some of my best friends at the ball and had some of the best times with those best friends at later years. And it's just a night to remember. Like I said, there's awards that come from the sports teams, there's raffles. We raised a whopping £1,111 this year, which doubled what we raised last year for our chosen charity this year, which was Papyrus, which I'll get onto a little bit later. Yeah, so as I said, we've got the Whoops of Sports, we've got netball, football, and badminton. Netball have also added a C team this year, so there's 3 teams that will all compete in what we call the IMG League. So that is within other courses within Cardiff University, whereas Cardiff University Netball, which is run by the SU, and is all Bucks, which is, I like to say, it's pharmacy netball is a healthy level of competitive, whereas obviously if you have a passion for netball or any other sports, I'll get onto that more at the end. But the netball is just a really nice way to mix and meld with older year groups that have been through it all before, and you can ask those questions that you might not necessarily want to ask a personal tutor. And it's like having dozens and dozens of student mentors that are all on your side, because the netball girls are all lovely. I joined netball in my first year. Same for the football and the badminton. It is just getting yourself ingrained in life at pharmacy. And again, it's people that you might not necessarily meet, because there is hundreds of people in each year and you won't come across everyone. I still find in my 3rd year that I'm meeting new people all the time, which I think is really interesting. So these sports are something that really support that sort of family feeling that really lets you get to grips with life in Cardiff. And these are some photos from one of our Optom varsities. Again, joining in with that interprofessional education. It is a full day event. You start with netball and badminton in the morning. You can see that we had a break in between for pizza, which again is much needed. And then we went to support the football. As you can see, our very, very well made signs. And it's a really big event because beforehand you have all the training and all the matches and getting ready for everything, getting those signs done, which I think is one of my favorite socials, because you get to just sit there and paint. I've ruined quite a few shirts painting those signs. And then we play the football and then we go home, get changed, and then get ready, and we do pub golf in the evening as well. Like I said, one of my best friends is actually from the School of Optometry, and we met on a varsity many, many years ago, which I think just goes to show the more you put yourself out there, Cardiff has endless opportunities as long as you're willing to take them. As I mentioned earlier, our charity work, we fundraised for Papyrus this year in prevention of young suicide. So the ball is our big main charity fundraising event, but we also do things like the November Running Challenge, which is mostly led by our sports teams. We have a student who ran a reverse advent calendar with the support of the society for Cardiff Food Bank. So we also do local charity work, which again, I think is really, really important to just give back to the local area. She had absolutely tons and tons of donations that were done in Redwood, which is our home building. So it's all really close to home and really easy to contribute. Even just a little bit across all the years and all the lecturers, we raised, I don't even know how many hundreds of pounds of food that was donated, but the food bank was incredibly grateful. Like I said, the annual charity ball, which I've been through, we also do charity sports days and matches. So we've recently had our first full sports day, which went really, really well. And again, the profits from ticket sales there also go in support of charity. And again, sponsors study events. And then the merch, you can see that I'm representing myself, and you can see on the screen there, is also part of the profits that are donated to charity as well, which I think is nice, just so you know that you get to represent the school and you know that a little part of that is going to good use with Papyrus in prevention of young suicide. Again, this is more on that student-led study that I mentioned. So at WUPSA, we do our best to ensure that our students are supported, because we know that the degree isn't the easiest at times, but we all really enjoy it, and we enjoy helping each other, because helping each other helps you understand more yourself. That's why we think student-led study is so important. So we've got a vast variety of different pharmacy resource brands that we work with to get discounts with. So we do additional OSCE stations practice. So OSCEs, Alex mentioned briefly, but it's like an in-person exam. So the more practice you get being in that situation, because you have to look, act, and be completely professional while gathering all the information, diagnosing, and treating appropriately a pretend patient as such. So as much as it's easy to do with your friends, doing it with someone else that you might not necessarily know as well, I find can be a bit easier, just so you don't end up in a giggling with your mates and getting a bit distracted. And OSCE Toolbox provides those resources to take the stress off the students, so we are able to just practice rather than having to make the resources and practice, because time management is really important on a course like this. Again, we collaborate with other societies, so healthcare drama societies chip in as well and get us some student actors in, just so we can get that additional practice. Like I said, it's working with other year groups as well, because we've been through it all before. As much as the course is changing, the vast majority of it is the same, so we can lend a helping hand where we can. Like I said, hosting lots of study sessions. We've even got some later this week because we're on the run up to exam season, like lots of drop-in sessions and opportunities to ask for advice. And like I said, those discounts on revision resources if you did want to go and look at some external resources as well. Now, here is something that I work particularly closely with. So we've got links to the BPSA, which is the British Pharmaceutical Students Association, which also links up to the EPSA and IPSA, which is the European and International Associations, respectively. But we've recently had the Western Area Conference in Cardiff that was called Skin Deep. It went very, very well, and it was nice to host it locally. And then we have the national conferences that was in Nottingham, I believe, this year. I wasn't able to go, but lots of students from Cardiff did have that opportunity to go and meet other students from different schools of pharmacy, which, again, my friends that went had the best time there. It is a full week of events that are so informative but really fun as well. They also have their own like dinners and awards similar to our annual charity ball. And there's countless networking opportunities to meet other students within our like Western area or across the whole nation. And you can really see how things are different and potentially meet some people you may work with in the future. If you wanted to come to Cardiff, then go back home to practice, there's opportunities there if you decide to take them. And then the student staff panel is one that I'm particularly fond of because I'm the chair of the student staff panel. So we work very closely with the panel and the society to ensure the best possible experience for students on pharmacy, because realistically, we are the students that are being taught the course, so we know how it feels and what we prefer, what works well, what doesn't, and to ensure that that is fed back appropriately. We have representatives from every year group. We have 3 from each year group, 1 from the society, as well as, like I said, the chair to make sure that everything is advocated for appropriately. So I meet with all the students beforehand, and then we meet with the staff, and it's so that students can take their feedback and it can be taken to staff and actioned appropriately or advised on, and then that's looped back, because I'm really, really focused on the feedback loop and how important that is, because you get to see the differences and changes that you make. Like, I've been on this panel for a long time now, and I've seen the opportunity that for students to raise their concerns, use their voice, and like I said, we are the best people to suggest those improvements. So outside of studying, your interests are really, really important. I could not possibly list everything. We would be here for hours on end of the opportunities that are available in Cardiff. I'm going to focus on the ones between Cardiff University and the Students' Union. This doesn't include all of the other publicly available options in Cardiff, which there are literally endless. So in the Students' Union, you have societies. There are over 200 societies, one of which being the Pharmacy Society, but there's also like the Taylor Swift Society or dance societies, and basically any interest that you have, there is probably a society for that. And if there isn't, if you have, I think, 20 people, you can make your own. The Students' Union is there to support all students' interests, and they're really, really helpful in that. Then you've got the Athletic Union. So that is all your sports that compete in things like bucks. So the sports teams where you have trials to go on and you go and compete against other universities, which is different to the IMG League, which the pharmacy teams compete in. That is all within Cardiff University. So in pharmacy sports, we'd compete against people like optometry or history or politics, all within Cardiff. Languages for All is something provided by the university. I've done a course here. Again, it is really interesting. If this is something you wanted to keep going on the side, they're all in the evening courses. There's 10 fully taught languages and lots more that have additional resources there. So we also have Job Shop for like student employment, which is supported by the SU. So you can ensure that, you don't have to worry about sorting the logistics of it. That's all supported by the SU, and all your pay sorted through there. And you can see those opportunities that are verified and, like I said, supported by the SU. They also run many events themselves between the TAF, which is our student pub, a PLAS, which is where we host our Wednesday nights, YOLO, which are very, very popular for all societies and sports teams, and lots of my friends all decide to go as well. And then you also have the Great Hall, which hosts lots of live music events and conferences. So you're able to see maybe potentially your favourite band or artist that is maybe coming to Cardiff might be in the Great Hall, which I think is really interesting. You get Give It a Go, which means there's lots of trips and tryouts you can do, which are at free or low cost. So I know they've gone to Oxford, they've gone to Bath, I think they've gone to Stonehenge, and those sort of opportunities that you may not, if you don't want to go by yourself, it's big groups that go together with an itinerary and a plan, which means you can go through and get a bit more of an in-depth look. Then you have the student media. They do like radio, newspapers, magazines, even CU TV. They definitely just had a big run looking at varsity. So our Swansea varsity wasn't too long ago last month. And they had a great time just showcasing all of the students' ability across different sort of medias. And if you're interested in that, it's a lovely thing you can do on the side, similar to a society. But if you're interested in that like media potential, there's that opportunity as well. And there's volunteering, which there is plenty of opportunities around Cardiff to do, like chipping in with the societies or volunteering outside of the university. But yeah, that is everything from me. The Q&A section is open, so we will all be staying here to wrap up any questions. Like I said, if you have any questions specifically for me, I've been involved with lots of these different things, the society, the student staff panel, most of the things on the screen at the minute. So if I can't answer it, I'd be quite impressed, but I will do my best. There we go, there's Alan.
Thank you, Natasha. And I've invited Alex back on. As Natasha says, the Q&A is open. We're not sure whether it's working. That's the only issue. We haven't had any questions come in. This time last year when we did this, we had questions coming in. So what I'm going to do is just keep you on board a little bit longer. And what we'll do is I'm going to ask you some questions off the cuff, maybe not something you covered in your slides, but maybe you could add to it. So Natasha, I'm going to start with you and talk about accommodation. I know that when we do have interactions with students, accommodations, particularly for mums and dads, is often a question. But Cardiff, we know, has lots. But could you like to give us just a little feel for what it's like being a visitor to Cardiff and coming to stay in Cardiff in the university accommodation, and what you've done subsequently?
Yeah, so I've actually had I've experienced quite a few different accommodations. So in my first year, I went for the classic university accommodation. I was in Talabont North. Talabont is in 4 different sections. You've got North, Gate, South, and Court. So like I said, there's more specific information online. I don't know how much it costs these days. I was in first year a long time ago, but I really enjoyed that area because Talabont has the sports facilities in it. So when I joined pharmacy netball, and if I wanted football as well, they had their training facilities inside Talabont. So you were able, it was really close, and it's all gated in, which is nice. And there is thousands and thousands of students in there. It is a bit nuts how many people they might fit in such an area. And it's only about, depending where you are in Talabont, 20 or 30 minutes down the road. And I think it's 30 if you're right at the top and have to walk through all of it, but away from the School of Pharmacy, and when you're having 9 a.m. in the morning, you're seeing swarms of students all going in the same direction because most of the Cathays campus is all south of Talabont. I've also heard good things of Sengennydd location-wise because it's a lot closer to town. I can't speak too much on the other accommodations, but that's mostly where my friends are from. I've also done shared housing, which has been pretty affordable compared to some other cities for Cardiff. So my student house was like £500 a month with 5 of us in it, with lots of good facilities, good location. I was right by Lidl. It was brilliant. Became very close friends with the bakery. I've also done private accommodation, which is more expensive, but if you wanted to take that option, it is there. There's lots of different buildings in Cardiff that are some closer to town, some further out. So depending on your needs and what you prefer and like what your budget is, there is lots and lots of options in Cardiff.
Thank you, Natasha. And certainly for those of you who are still having a look around, if you go on the Cardiff University website, search for accommodation, there are lots of good videos and plans about the accommodation that we have within the university itself. But Cardiff is one place where there is lots of accommodation, a whole range of it. And it's very close to the city centre as well. Alex, I'm going to ask you a question, and that's about maybe your experiences of how the changes affected the students in terms of the way the course has changed. You mentioned some of the things around placements, but how do you see things changing maybe in the near future for our course?
Yeah, well, prescribing, I guess, is the obvious thing to add there, Alan. That's been the major change in pharmacy education in recent years. And possibly sort of students are a bit worried about prescribing. It adds a bit of extra complexity to the course. What I would say, though, is here at Cardiff University, we've been teaching prescribing as a postgraduate course for 20 years. So we have a very successful postgraduate prescribing course, which graduates over 100 students every year. So we've got lots of experience in teaching that. So we've been able to roll down the experience that we've had from postgraduate teaching into the undergraduate program. It needs to be changed a little bit to sort of update it and make it accessible. But that's happening in every year of the MPharm program, including the first year. So for one example of that might be that the current first year in their OSCEs. So we've talked about OSCEs. This is where you encounter a medical actor and you communicate with them and determine their concerns and their needs and try and make an appropriate decision. In the past, that's been just a communication exercise, but now students are doing a clinical skill within their OSCE as well in the first and second year. So, for example, you might find yourself doing an ear examination using an instrument, an otoscope, to have a look in a patient's ear, and then, depending on what you see, make an appropriate clinical decision based on that physical examination. And of course, it's never as simple as just looking in someone's ear, because patients are quite often perhaps a little bit nervous about a clinical procedure. So you have to thoroughly explain what you're going to do and why you need to do it. And that's a skill in and of itself, of obtaining informed consent. Not just consent, but informed consent. So an important, that's another sort of clinical skill which falls out of doing a physical examination. So as I said, we've got lots of experience in teaching this to pharmacists, and I think that's an exciting new development, embedding prescribing skills into the undergraduate program.
Thanks, Alex. Natasha, I'm going to come back to you. And we heard earlier from Alex about all the different placements we're doing, and wonder if you could give us maybe a feel or a taster of some of those experiences you've had while you've been out on placement.
Well, that's a good one, because my most recent placement was my placement in H&P Berwyn, a prison pharmacy, which I had nagged for a while because it was so enlightening. So it's like in Wrexham in North Wales, so it was quite the drive to get there. But with all the support from the placements team, like accommodation, travel, and I had a food like bursary as well. So cost-wise, it was next to no cost for myself, other than food that I would have already bought. But it was so interesting to see the different departments, because you think pharmacy, people tend to go for community, or maybe community, hospital, sometimes GP people think, oh, those are the main three. Prison is something that I hadn't seen much of. It's limited in what you can see because there's only so many prisons in the country and prisons that we can actually go to. But the pharmacists I met there genuinely changed my perspective on pharmacy and how different patients and different patient populations change how you treat them, how it changes your treatment plan, clinical decisions, and how that can have a really, really big impact on patient outcomes. And it was so eye-opening to see that that is how life is when you are like in prison. And then my hospital placement that I've had, I was in Prince Charles. So that was a commutable placement that I could get to from my accommodation in Cardiff, which again, I was there for a full week. It was so interesting because I saw different wards. I saw fragility wards with like older patients, thinking like Parkinson's, dementias, comorbidities, multimorbidities. And you also saw things like what would be like an ICU where people are on lots of different machines, whether it's for like, honestly, it was so many that they're all hooked up to all your monitors, your for heart rate, vital signs, sort of dialysis. And seeing that and seeing people in that vulnerable state is, again, eye-opening in a different sense, because you can see how people are relying on you and how important it is that you are confident in your decisions and you're confident that you are making the right clinical choices and your reasoning behind that is sound. Like, I've also had many placements in community and GP, so I've spent quite a few times between those two, and you get, there we go. And then you get lots of opportunities to speak to patients front facing. So I've done otoscope exams and chest exams on real people in real communities. So I've been in rural Wales, I've been down west, and with lots of different opportunities, seeing different patients and how there's all sorts of things you can come across in community pharmacy and GP. It's not just the plain old standard checking what goes in the bag. You see lots of independent prescribing consultations, and more you're seeing more prescribing pharmacists out in practice, and you're able to learn more from them. Yeah.
Thank you, Natasha. I think that's really good. And it is important that our students get out there and see the real world, whether it's just to meet healthcare professionals or patients, the whole range of them that you will come across, big and small. So it's an important part and a developing part. I look back at my own undergraduate as a student studying pharmacy in Cardiff, and we had half an afternoon in a hospital, and that was it. So the rest we learned on the job, as it were. So everything is quite different, and I think a really important development. I really do apologize that the Q&A doesn't seem to be working. So we've been going just coming up to the hour. So what we're going to do, I'm going to ask Alex to pop on the screen his last slide, which had our contact details. And if we share that, get that to come across. What we can do is we're going to offer you to basically, if you have any questions, please send them to those emails or that email address. It's one you will have received already during all our communication, or you have the pharmacy interview email address that when you set up your interview with us. Please use those email addresses to ask us any question you may have in the coming days, and we will respond as quickly as possible to make sure you do get those answers. Other than that, I'm going to wish my colleagues thank you ever so much for joining us today and for your presentations, and I'm going to wish you guys out there good luck with your examinations coming up. Myself and Alex will be around in August, looking at the A-level results as they come in, deciding which of those get converted into full offers. If you get the grades, then you're in. We don't have to do anything about it. We don't have to make the decisions. Whereas Natasha will be enjoying herself, I'm sure, somewhere, enjoying herself in the sun while the rest of us do some work. But it's been really nice to meet you all today, and maybe we'll meet some of you again in September as you come and join us. But thank you again to everyone who's been here today. Thank you. Bye-bye. Shut it.
I don't think that's ended.